muscles found in the forelimbs of a cat. So, first I will introduce to you the superficial muscles found in the dorsal surface of a cat. So here, this muscle is called the brachioradialis. And here, this one is called the extensor carpi radialis. And this one, this is called the extensor digitorum communis. And this muscle is called the extensor digitorum lateralis. This muscle found here is called the extensor carpi ulnaris. And this muscle is called the flexor digitorum rotundus. Deep inside is a muscle called the supinator, and the other one here, I'm pointing it, is called the adductor pollicis longus. Then, let's move on to the upper part of the forelimb of a cat. This muscle is called the lateral head of triceps brachii, and this one is the long head of triceps brachii. This muscle here is called the clavio brachialis, and deep inside here is the brachialis. This muscle is called the spinodeltoid, and this muscle here is called the acromiodeltoid. And here, pointing, this muscle is called the levator scapulae ventralis. And this muscle connects here to the muscle found in the neck. And this is called the clavotrapezius. And now, this flap of muscle here is called the acromiotrapezius. And deep underneath this flap of muscle, we can find the supraspinatus and the infraspinatus. Now, these muscles are separated by what we call the spine of scapula. Now, this muscle here is what we call the rhomboideus. And this one, this muscle is what we call the rhomboideus capitis. And next to it is what we call the splenius. And we can't forget this flap of muscle here called the epitrochlearis, and underneath it is the triceps brachii. Next, we move on to this muscle called the flexor digitorum superficialis long head. This one, I'm putting it. And this muscle is what we call the flexor carpi radialis. And this one is what we call the pronator teres.
Hi guys, so this time I will be So this flap of muscle over here is the sartorius. As you can see, we cut it so that the deeper muscles will be visible. So this one is the gracilis, and this one is the semitendinosus. This one is the semimembranosus. And over here, we have a group of 4 muscles, namely the adductor femoris, the adductor longus, the pectineus, and the iliopsoas. Hi guys, so this time I will be showing you the muscles behind it. So first of all, let's start with the dorsal circle. So this flap of muscle over here is the sartorius. As you can see, we cut it so that the deeper muscles will be visible. So this one is the gracilis, and this one is the semitendinosus. This one is the semimembranosus. And over here, we have a group of 4 muscles, namely the adductor femoris, the adductor longus, the pectineus, and the iliopsoas. So these muscles over here are underneath the sartorius. As you can see, we've cut the sartorius so that it will be visible. So this one over here is the vastus medialis. This one is the rectus femoris, and this one is the vastus lateralis. So in between the rectus femoris and the vastus lateralis, we have a much deeper muscle called the vastus intermedius over here. This one. So side of the hind limbs of the cat. So this one over here is called the biceps femoris, and this one here is called the tensor fascia lata. So if we're going to cut the biceps femoris, we are going to see deeper muscles. But before that, we have here the gluteus medius. This one is the gluteus maximus, and this one here is the cauda femoralis, and this one over here is the semitendinosus, which is also visible at the ventral side of the cat. This one over here is the vastus lateralis. Let's proceed to the muscles of the lower portion of the hind limbs of the cat. So this one over here, which is the biggest muscle in this portion, is the gastrocnemius. This over here is the gastrocnemius. And over here is the flexor digitorum longus. And this is the tibialis anterior. This is the extensor digitorum longus. This is the Peroneus longus, and lastly, this is the soleus.
Okay, so now we are going to identify the muscles on the neck of the cat down to the ventral side. Okay, so on the neck part of the cat, here below the chin, we can see these 2 muscles here. These muscles are what we call the digastric muscles. So down here, these muscles here, these are what we call the sternomastoid muscles. Both sternomastoid, this is another sternomastoid. Then here, you can see three separated muscles here. So these 2 muscles, these are what we call the sternohyoid muscles. And this muscle here is the sternothyroid. So underneath the sternohyoid muscles and the sternothyroid are cricothyroid. This is the cricothyroid here. So let's proceed here. So this muscle here, as you can see, this is also a part of the sternomastoid, is what I have mentioned earlier. And this muscle here, this muscle underneath this is what we call the cradle muscle. So now let's go down to the pectoral side, the pectoral portion of the ventral side of the cat. So these muscles here, they are what you call the superficial muscles. So this muscle here, this muscle is what you call the pecto antebrachialis. This muscle here. And above the pecto antebrachialis is the clavodeltoid. This muscle here is a clavodeltoid, pecto antebrachialis. Then under the pecto antebrachialis is the pectoralis major. So this cut muscle here, this is actually the pectoralis minor. But we cut it so that we can see the muscles underneath. So this muscle here is the CP humerales. So now let's proceed to the muscles underneath. Okay. So underneath the superficial muscles earlier, this muscle is the external intercostal. And this muscle, this is what you call the transversus costarum. And the muscle here, this muscle runs down or down here. This muscle is what you call the rectus abdominis. Very long muscle. So this muscle right here, actually these three muscles together they are called the scalenus. And then this muscle right here, this muscle is the subscapularis. And this is the levator scapularis. So this muscle is the levator scapularis. And these other muscles, they are the serratus ventralis. These muscles here. So now let's go down to the abdominal portion. So this muscle, this is the external oblique. So underneath the external oblique, we can find the internal oblique. This one right here is the internal oblique. And underneath the internal oblique is the transversus abdominis.
And I'm going to identify the dorsal muscles of the lower portion of the cat. So as you can see, the green thing here, this muscle is called femoralis. And then the muscle next to it is called gluteus maximus. And then gluten is called the gluteus medius, this muscle here. And then this one is the tensor fascia lata. This one here has been cut. And then the white one here, over here, is the fascia. It's called lumbodorsal fascia, and it covers two muscles. The pink one is called lumbissimus